So Marshall's here. Marshall from Marshall's Matters, which is a podcast that he does. How often do you do your podcast?
Man, it was going about 2 episodes every week, but as soon as I started it, the coronavirus hit.
Mm.
So that put a slow stoppage on everything, and just with work and family stuff, it's been a while since I've recorded, but I actually recorded uh, episode 7 earlier this week, so that should be coming out pretty soon. It's pretty much just a recap of the NBA playoffs. I'm a huge Mavericks fan, so seeing Luka come out and he pretty much solidify himself as a star. I also put in there the first couple weeks of the NFL, first 2 weeks, and the rash of injuries because the injuries have been absolutely insane this year, and it's just going to get worse because you didn't play high school football with me, but you did play Pee Wee, correct? So, I mean, you know how it is. I mean, your body has to get used to taking those football hits, and that's where the preseason comes into play. And that's kind of what I alluded to was maybe we don't need 4 preseason games, but definitely 2,
Mm.
because some of these guys, I mean, they've gone well over a year now, especially if their team didn't make the playoffs without being hit.
Yep.
And if your body's not used to taking that hit, yeah, I mean, injuries happen. I mean, you look at Saquon. I mean, he was hurt most of all last year. Christian McCaffrey was hurt most of all last year towards the end. So, I mean, those guys are down now. And
Hmm.
it's been a while since they've taken another hit, and now they're hurt again, which really sucks for my fantasy team because I drafted Christian first overall. And
Oh my gosh.
now
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm going to do.
dude, that's rough. Yeah, you have a point there. So this is the kind of stuff you get from Marshall's Matters podcast. Good stuff. Like, you is it exclusive to Anchor?
Actually, I record on Anchor, but it gets available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, a couple other podcast sites, but mainly the most of my viewers listen on Anchor, Spotify, or Apple iTunes.
Heck yeah, that's good stuff, Marshall. So what about your team? Good old Minnesota Vikings. What's going on, man?
Ooh, man.
The Vikes.
No, they
And you
already.
can explain to me the skull thing because I hear that and I see that, but I don't even know what that means.
So Skull is just like a Vikings war chant from
Uh,
back in the days when the Vikings pillaged the sea and plundered all these towns.
yeah.
But skull was just a war chant, and the skull, the clap, skull, skull. That actually came from a team in Iceland, and the Vikings stole that. Which I mean, they got with the Icelandic soccer team and made sure it was okay. But that was a new tradition they started with the new stadium. But man, so Mike Zimmer just got a pretty decent contract extension, and now they're already saying fire Zimmer.
Mm.
But I knew going into the season that it was either going to be we were going to be really good or we were going to be really bad. And what people don't realize is a lot of good players opted out this season because of the coronavirus. So we signed a dude from the Ravens. His name is Michael Pierce. He's a defensive tackle. We let Linval Joseph go to San Diego. He's balling in San Diego. And we signed Michael Pierce, and he was supposed to be our big one technique. So for you guys who don't know what a one technique and a three technique is, a one technique lines up between the guard and the center. A three technique lines up on farther down the line in between the tackle and the guard. So Linval played our one technique. And what he did was he took up a double team every play, which allowed our linebackers to roam free and make plays, which is why Eric Kendricks had such a huge year at Vikings middle linebacker. But Zimmer is when he has had success, he's always had a dominant three technique. And when he was at Cincinnati, that was Geno Atkins, who's still balling to this day. When he came to Minnesota, Sharif Floyd before he got hurt. Can't even remember the kid name. Now he's in Cleveland. But anyway, we've always had a pretty
Mm.
athletic three technique. Well, we don't have an athletic three technique right now. We have Shamar Stephen, who's pretty much a converted defensive end, but he's a smaller dude. So we need that big body to take up that double team. So Shamar Stevens is not getting double teamed every single play. And we don't have that. We don't
Uh,
have, I mean, we're relying on rookies and journeyman vets to play the 1 and 3 technique for us because Michael Pierce opted out due to the coronavirus and family health concerns. Daniil Hunter, who is, in my opinion, the best young defensive end in football under the age of 25. He just turned 25. His fastest and youngest player ever to reach 50 sacks in his career. He's going to miss the first 3 weeks because he got hurt. So, I mean, and we signed Yannick Ngakoue. We traded him to the Jaguars, and he's another great young pass rusher. But, I mean, we're missing Daniil, and, man, we lost a lot of players.
Mm-hmm. Is it the run? Is it run defense is a problem? Or
our run defense is horrible. No,
Yeah.
but what's killing us is our pass D. So we let Trey Waynes, Xavier Rhodes, and Mackenzie Alexander all walk in free agency. Those were our top 3 corners.
Wow.
So Trey Waynes and Mackenzie went to Cincinnati. Xavier Rhodes went to Indianapolis. So we got Mike Hughes, who started 6 games in his NFL career. Holton Hill, who's an undrafted free agent 2 years ago out of Texas. He's started 5 games, and then we drafted 2 corners, Cameron Dantzler, who I think will be a stud in the 3rd round out of Mississippi State, and then Jeff Gladney out of TCU. Gladney was actually one of the few corners that lined up with CD at OU and actually had a decent game against them.
Yeah.
But they're rookies.
What was that was that a 2nd-round pick or?
No, he's a 1st-round pick.
Okay.
Him and
I was going to say Gladney. I knew that the Cowboys had interest in him too because they looked at corners in the 1st round.
Well, y'all lucked out and got.
Yeah.
Diggs' brother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Stephon Diggs, he's good.
I got Trayvon Diggs' brother, or Stephon Diggs' brother, Trayvon. Yeah, but
I'm moving this bag. It's no free promotion for Bath and Body Works. Megan left that there. I forgot. And there's still all our soaps on the.
I'm just glad my wife's not the only one that decorates like that.
Yep.
Behind you. But no, Gladney was a 1st-round pick, and so was Justin Jefferson. They were our 2 1st-round picks this year. And honestly, what's really hurt us is our pass D, which is a staple of Zimmer's defense. I think he'll iron that out by about week 4, week 5, once those guys kind of get used to playing.
Mm-hmm.
Given that's where the preseason really comes into play, is Zimmer's got time to actually let those guys get some game time without it being a meaningful game.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't had that yet. So our first 2 games have pretty much been our preseason games. But what's killing us is our $30 million quarterback, Kirk Cousins, who I was singing his praises. No other starting quarterback in the NFL has had a worse QBR through the first 2 weeks than Kirk Cousins. And, I mean, he's thrown more picks than touchdowns, which is always a bad sign. But the fact that we're paying this man $30 million a year, which is the reason why we don't have money to spend in free agency, is because we spent all of it on him.
Yep.
He's got to show out, and he's not. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I don't think the casual fan really realized how good Stephon Diggs is, because him and Adam Thielen, you can't double team both of them.
Yeah.
So now coverage is shifting towards Adam Thielen. He's getting double teamed, and Kyle Rudolph, Irv Smith Jr. are 2 tight ends. Kirk doesn't really throw to his tight ends. He never has throughout his career. He's not a big tight end thrower. And we have 2 studs at tight end, but they're just not getting involved. And Dalvin Cook hasn't been able to get going. The Kirk Cousins thrives on play action passes, and we have not been able to get Dalvin Cook going. And the success we had last year was because of Dalvin Cook, because Dalvin Cook was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
He was, I think top 5 in the league in rushing yards, and he was like top 10 in yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, he got paid too, huh?
Yeah, he got paid, and now he's not doing nothing. Of course, I mean.
Yeah.
But a lot of that has to do with the Vikings' offensive line, which has never been good, but they're better than they were last year. And I don't know, man, we're just not putting it together. Which, I mean, the same could be said as your team.
Yep, you're right. Squeaked out a win last week, like crazy onside kick, crazy.
Oh, that was a crazy game. That was one of the best games I've watched.
Yeah, it was so I was so hyped, it was crazy. I did a live stream for the first game. I should have done a live stream for the second game, but I just wasn't, the hype of the first game of the season. I was like, yeah, I'm going to record, I'm going to do a live stream for this whole thing. And then we lost, and I was very upset. And then I was like, this week, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to show the world my shame again. And when we get beat, But I should have done it because it would have been crazy. It'd have been awesome to see. I was in here screaming. I was pumped. It
I mean,
was
we watched it at work,
yeah.
and I mean, it was just, I mean, it was absolutely nuts. Which uh, getting to see CD finally go off, but
Hmm.
another thing with that, CD Lamb, man, he's just not. It's like he's not, I'm not saying playing scared, but he's playing conservative. Like he doesn't want to make a mistake with the coaching staff
Hmm.
because there's a couple of times where he caught, a slant pass over the middle that we seen him take, 50 yards when he played at OU. And he just, instead of, trying to make that second, third move, he was just going down. And
Yeah, I
I'm
noticed
wondering how
that.
much of that is Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, telling him, hey, man, just get the yardage. You're a rookie. Don't worry about it. But as soon as they allow him to be him, Dallas is going to be a force to be reckoned with on offense. And as soon as they get Everson Griffin going, Alden Smith, man, he is a low key signing. A
Hmm.
lot of people don't remember, but he came out in the same draft as Von Miller. And he came out of Missouri. Von Miller came out of Texas A&M.
Hmm.
Alden Smith, by far, was better than Von Miller the first 5 years of their career.
Yeah, I know that. It is crazy that he's come out and played so well after taking like 4 years off of football, or 5 years even. It's pretty insane.
Well, they weren't voluntary years by any means. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
got
yeah he got reinstated and everything. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy that he's playing now, and Randy Gregory is still having to sit, but that's a different discussion. But
Man, Randy Gregory has all the athletic ability in the world, but man, he's too small to play in.
yeah,
Like you're gonna put him in on pass rush situations
yeah,
only. Everson Griffin will probably lead you on sacks.
I hope so. I know that we ain't get nothing from old Demarcus Lawrence, who we paid big
No,
money.
he got his bag. He's good.
Yeah. And then also Everson Griffin's now going from standing up to back to a 3-point stance this week. So we'll see how much that affects him.
That'll be a lot better for him
Yeah.
because he's always been a hand in the dirt
Yeah.
kind of
He
guy.
was really complaining about that this week. He came under fire because people were. I mean, it's only 2 games and everyone's rusty, but he hasn't played up to par for what people think, and he kind of got heated this week. So I'm expecting a big game from him. I'm hoping that he's
Yeah,
got a fire under him. The defense has been kind of bad for us. Offense, of course, last week fumbled like crazy. Don't know what's going on, but I feel like this week it's going to be a great game tomorrow.
what casual fans don't understand is that going from your hand in the dirt when you're in your 3 point stance
Hmm.
to standing up is a big difference because guys that line up in a pure 4-3, a 4-3 end, which is a four-man front with three linebackers, is that when your hands in the dirt, your body weight, because most of these guys are bigger dudes, so their chest is heavier. Their body weight's going forward, so they're already lowered to the ground. So when they take that first step off the edge, they've already got the big majority of their weight going forward, which allows them to get engaged with the blocker. And then Everson Griffin's got one of the best spin moves and rip moves in the NFL. So he's able to get his body weight on top of that tackle and then make his move. Whereas if he's standing up,
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of these guys are relying on first step quickness and their ability to just win with speed.
Hmm.
That's never been Griff style.
Hmm.
That's Vaughn style. Von Miller, he's another one that got hurt. He's going to be out for the season. But, I mean, that's just not his style. So when you take someone who's played, well, he came from out of USC. He played defensive end with his hand in the dirt. So he's probably 4 years at USC, 8 years with Minnesota, 12 years. This man has never once stood up in pass coverage.
Hmm.
You're asking him to do that now. I mean, that's not fair.
Yeah, it's not. So that's why I'm thinking. I'm hoping that this is going to give him that. I mean, it's debate. I hope it. I hope it. If he's more comfortable, of course he'll play. I think he'll play better. So I'm hoping that we get some pressure because we need it this week. Russ is let Russ cook. You've been seeing that.
Oh, dude, man. Uh,
Uh,
I play Russell Wilson this week in fantasy, so hopefully they don't let him cook too much.
yeah, I know. It's the same with our depleted. We've got no pass rush the past 2 weeks. I think we have 2 sacks on the season. Both of them like coverage sacks. So, and our and it's not that our secondary is any good. They're a bunch of like we lost Byron Jones. He signed somewhere else. We have Cheeto is hurt this week. Um, Anthony Brown's hurt this week, so we're like on our backups, our backup three corners, pretty much.
Hey, Trevon Diggs is good though, man. He's going to be a good one for y'all. What I want to see though is our boy Neville Gallimore,
I know,
the
yeah,
Canadian from OU.
yeah.
Man, he makes his living in his three technique, which I've already
Mm-hmm.
told y'all what it was earlier in the show. But he makes his living getting interior pressure and that pocket.
Yep.
Now, maybe not against Russ. Is that such a great thing because Russ is so much better when he rolls outside the pocket?
Mm-hmm.
But a guy like Big Ben, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, any of these guys that are quote unquote pocket
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks, that's going to be a big, big game changer for them. And I'm wondering if it's just he doesn't know the playbook or if they just don't think he's good enough. But I want to see them let Neville get in the game and see what he can do, man. Because we watched him come from OU or from Canada to OU, didn't know how to really play. And then, took him 4 years, but he finally learned the nuances of that D tackle spot from Alex Grinch. And man, he's going to be a star.
Yeah, I hope so. I haven't got to. I keep forgetting that he's even on the team because I just don't ever see him out there. Uh, we got some young guys playing.
Well, losing GMAC definitely hurt too because
Yeah,
that was Gallimore's role model right there.
yeah, that's true. It was crazy that once right as soon as he got hurt, we just cut him. But I mean, business is business, right?
Oh
You think
man,
that was a
NFL
shady
stands for
thing?
not for long.
Yeah, you think that was a shady thing, or you think that's okay?
Nah, it was just a 1 year deal. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I wish Gerald all the speed and recovery,
Mm-hmm. It
but
would have been cool to have him playing because I mean, of course he's a little older, but he's not prime, of course, obviously, or he wouldn't be here. But he still could have gave some juice to this line. I feel like.
oh, dude, he's a vet, man. What he can
Mm-hmm.
bring in terms of experience and coaching,
Yep.
that's
True.
what they brought him in for.
Yep.
But what I don't understand is how in the world Dontari Poe, 350 something pounds of a man,
Mm-hmm.
is getting pushed back. Like, I don't care if you're old or not. Like, he is just not showing any energy, and he's getting pushed back on that line, which is really hurting y'all's run D.
Yep. It is. I don't know. It hasn't been too bad. The first two games. I mean, you can see the big plays, but really they've had yards per run pretty low for the first two weeks. It's mostly been not getting to the quarterback and then not getting very well covered down the field. But hopefully, I don't know. It's a lot of stuff to. It's just a lot of factors to go into this game coming up. Who do the
But really,
Vikes play?
uh, uh, man, you wouldn't ask me, I could have told you. Uh,
Do
what really helps get back on that subject real quick. What really
yeah.
helps y'all's run D is the fact that y'all's offense is so good that teams are having to pass to keep up with y'all scoring wise.
Yep. I hope that we can bring that juice this week. I think we're riding a high. We had a great comeback
Oh,
victory.
oh, we're playing Tennessee, so we're gonna get destroyed.
Eesh. How's Tannehill been so good? I thought he kind of sucked. Is the Vikes 0-2? They're not 0-2, are they?
Yeah, we're 0-2, bro.
I didn't. I was hoping that I was incorrect when I was about to say that, but
No, they're 0-2, and their rush D is what's hurt them, and now we're about to face King Henry.
mm-hmm.
They're gonna hand the ball. Well, anybody, I could be good in the freaking Titans offense. I gotta hand the ball to Derrick Henry, then just throw a deep shot to AJ Brown.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Tannehill's got it. He's got it made as far as quarterback positions go, or quarterback places go. Best place to play probably right now. I don't know. How's their line? Is the Titans line pretty good? Their offensive line?
Yeah, according to Madden, their O line's really good.
I mean, they got to
But
be if. Well, they don't have to be, but I mean, they're giving Derrick Henry enough room to just plow right through.
yeah, their O line's probably top 10 in the league. What I don't understand is how Dallas's O line has gotten so bad.
Yeah, we have injuries bad. Both of our tackles are going to be out this game.
Well, losing Travis Frederick to retirement really hurt.
Yeah, and of course Travis is gone. I already forgot about that. So we have our old Joe Looney playing center. Then of course Connor Williams out of Texas is at that left guard spot, which he's just doesn't have the power. He's just more of a tackle, and they keep trying to make him a guard. But
Well, because they have Lyle Collins on the right tackle and then
yeah,
Tyron Smith at left. There's no really spot for him to play.
you're right. And they thought they could make him into a guard, I guess, but I don't know.
His arms are too short to play tackle, though.
Yeah, he looks well. I don't know. If you see a big picture of him, like when I saw him walking around, when he got drafted, he looks like Tyron Smith. He does have like more long arms than I thought, and he's like not very thick. He looks more like built, like muscly, which is what Tyron looks like, and not really got a gut on him.
Tyron Smith's a freak, though.
Yeah, he is a freak. He's a if he could. He's had so much health problems. I feel bad for the guy. Like he's more he's like my age.
Yeah, man, he came into the league when he was 20.
Yeah, he's like my age, and his back is probably just this far from cracking. His neck is always hurting. Like this dude is. I feel for the guy. He's got to be in pain all the time.
Which makes it even more impressive that Joe Thomas did what he did.
Yep, you're right. He stayed at he consecutive games, right? He never missed a
Like
game.
261 until he finally got hurt and then tore his pecker. I think he tore his
It's
pec.
like Jason Witten. He's still out there. Iron Man.
Oh, Jay Witt, man, he needs to hang him up, bro.
Yeah, he runs about what does he run, like a 10-second 40?
I don't know that. He's still reliable when it comes to them hands, though, and he's probably one of the best blocking tight ends in history of the league.
Yeah, I'm really excited for our tight ends. And our starting tight end got hurt, and we just got injuries everywhere. But Dalton
Y'all's backup tight end is really good. What's his name?
Schultz,
Yeah, Schultz, man, he was balling.
yeah, he did good last
And
week.
Jarwin's pretty good. We got to see Blake Bell
Yeah,
back.
we got
so,
Bell
I mean,
back. That's funny.
that was always good to see Bell back.
Yeah.
I like when OU players do good.
I know it. I miss those days of like today. All right, we'll transition to the OU game because we hadn't talked about it yet, like completely on this. So I miss the days of whenever we had Belldozer just ramming in, and then we had I guess old Landry Jones was passing back then.
Oh, I couldn't stand Landry.
I like.
Oh man, he cost us more games with boneheaded interceptions.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I like that too. Back when we had that two quarterback kind of. I guess Trevor Knight is what I'm thinking of. It was Trevor Knight and Blake Bell.
Yeah, Trevor Knight and Blake Bell.
I liked that. That's the combo that I thought was good. And then now today we are lost to K-State. Marshall, talk about it for us. Take it away.
Man,
both
I
Sooner
didn't
fans
actually get
here.
to watch. I didn't get to watch the game. I just had to watch the live play-by-play.
You're right.
But from what I've
Mhm.
seen, Lincoln started calling some. We got a lead early. Lincoln started calling running plays. Man, I understand we got a young quarterback, freshman, redshirt, Spencer Rattler, who's the next, big thing. But
It's me
the
rolling.
kid's
my eyes.
balling. Well, the kid's balling, man. Let him throw the ball. I mean, we have never been accused of being great sportsmen. Run that score up, man, because with that defense,
Oh, excuse me.
anything is possible. Anything is possible. And sure enough, K-State came back, which
Mhm.
we always struggle against K-State and Iowa State. I don't know what it is about the state schools, but we've always struggled against those teams. And we should have won. I mean, oh, man, it's just – but what people don't – the injuries we have and the suspensions definitely aren't – I'm not making any excuses because we should have won that game. And we lost. We choked it away like the Falcons. But Hazelwood's a 5-star receiver. We lost him early in the spring games because he tore his ACL. Mims came out of nowhere as a true freshman. McGowan's a beast, the running back. But our line, man, we tried to start a true left tackle out there. I mean, the only good offensive lineman we have right now is Creed Humphrey,
Mm.
and the rest of them, man, they for someone who never played O line, it's kind of hard to understand this, but the best lines in the country are lines that have been together for years. So that year that we had, where the O line won the best O lineman award,
Mm-hmm.
all those guys have played together for 2 or 3 years plus. Bobby Powers, Cody Ford, Creed Humphrey, Drew Samia, all those guys, and then
Zeus.
Orlando Brown Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those guys have played together for multiple years, and they build that continuity as a team, and that's how they're so good. But we've got so many new start. I mean, I'm pretty sure Creed's the only returning full-time starter that we have on the line right now.
Yeah, and that showed today bad. Um, that was the Baker Mayfield year, wasn't it? One of those. Whenever we
Yeah,
had all those guys.
Baker's last year, and then it was Kyler's year is when all those guys went pro.
Ah,
Orlando went pro with Baker.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. And the Ravens drafted him, right?
Yeah,
I think
he made a Pro Bowl last year.
that's pretty cool. And because they drafted Hollywood Brown too.
Yeah, the Ravens drafted a lot of OU players, Mark Andrews as well.
Yeah. Good tight end. I wish we would have drafted Mark Andrews that year. I really was.
Everybody's wishing they would have drafted Mark Andrews that year.
You too? For the Vikes, but y'all have tight ends. But
No, we would have wasted him because we don't throw to the tight end.
oh, true. Yeah. Dak likes the tight end quite a bit. And yeah, today for me, I didn't watch all of the game either because I did another video while it was because Megan went to lunch, so I could do some more video stuff. But I watched watched the first quarter and then the fourth quarter, and yeah, Spencer Radler, he looked rattled out there, to not make a terrible pun, but like his youth showed real bad, making just bad decisions. He had like 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. He wasn't getting protected, like you said. The line is very inexperienced, and I think the defense for Kansas State is not too bad, especially up front. They have like I heard the announcer say they had 2 players that are 6-year, what do they call that? Exemptions, 6-year.
Yeah, hardship exemption, whatever
something
you
like
it.
that. So they just have 2 people playing defense that's played for 6 years or something like that.
So they're
Isn't that
my
crazy?
age.
Isn't that crazy?
So they're grown men playing against. Technically, he's still a kid. I mean, he's 18. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, they've got some work to do. They looked a little flat, to be honest with you. The defense, not good. I don't know what they got to do. I guess they'll grow up during the season. We'll watch it. I hope, anyways. But this is a year I'm not super invested in. In other years, I've seen OU as like, oh yeah, this is a year we can really do it. Like I thought last year, the year before. This year, I didn't have my hopes as high. Even though we're ranked number 3, I didn't feel.
Oh. No, I knew it's next year. Next year is going to be, which I hate saying that because it's like that's like an OU and Dallas Cowboy fun. Next year is going to be our year.
Right.
Well, next year should be our year. I mean, we're going to have. I mean, all our receivers will be back. We're not really losing too many players. The D is supposed to be better. But I'm telling you right now, if Alex Grinch's D doesn't turn it around, he may be looking for a new job next year. Because that's one thing the boosters and the athletic director at OU, they're not going to settle for is, we've always been a laughingstock in terms of defense. And if they don't start turning it around, they'll find somebody else.
See you.
That's college sports is a business.
Yeah.
That's why I think players should get not necessarily paid, but they should be compensated.
Right.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think so too. For sure. Like scholarships, they ain't doing it nowadays. With
No.
And they've like passed a bill for that to like, I guess they can get paid for their likeness, So if they have like an NCAA game that does come out, they can be compensated.
Oh, that game! As soon as that game comes out, it's the most bought game. Like it'll blow GTA 5 sales out of the water.
Everybody wants
Like
NCAA
not
game.
even I mean there was people who weren't even sports fans that loved playing NCAA because of the dynasty on there was just so different. Because I mean, at most you're only going to have these players for 4 years, and then you're having to bring in all new players. So I mean, it's a unique game experience that frankly can't be replicated
Hmm.
by someone that doesn't have those uh, deals in place with the NCAA.
Yeah. I know you know Tanner Robin. He still plays like up into. Well, he probably still does. Last I knew, like a year or two ago, he was still playing like NCAA 14, the
Oh, I've
last
got
game
it.
that
I've
came
got it
out.
on my three. I got it on my 360 in the living room right now. I have NCAA.
Yep, and
I played it earlier today actually.
yeah, he was. I mean, it's crazy that people still playing that from years ago. It's fun. It's a fun game. Um,
Oh, without a doubt.
all right, so switching to gaming because we're talking about games now. So you also do stream on Twitch, which I will in the intro what I'll do for this. I'll mention your Twitch so that you get that. Explain to me the name situation. What led you to this name thing?
So
I'm very curious about this.
you remember when Netflix first started out, like, and it was like they were sending movies to your house, kind of like
Oh
Blockbuster?
yeah, I had that service.
Well, yeah, so did I. But when they finally started the streaming thing, and that was like what they were trying to get into, it wasn't big. So
Hmm.
they didn't have a huge title on their streaming site. And I was at the house one day and I was just scrolling through and I came upon this like weird show about these group of guys who were trying to make a gaming convention in LA. And this dude, they were like quote unquote stereotypical professional gamers. But his gamer tag was Rumple Foreskins, playing off the uh, fairy tale Rumpelstiltskins. I was like,
Hmm.
that's cool. I'll try that out. So I went and put it on there because it was like I think the Xbox generated name was like Slimmy Lemon 66, and
Yeah.
then I did another random generator and it came out to be White Pony 54. So I didn't really have like when you get killed by somebody, you kind of you have a rememberable name, they're gonna remember you. So
Hmm.
I was looking for that kind of name, and I watched this movie. I was like Rumple Foreskins. I was like, I'll try it out. It was taken already, so I back then I was in a really big Limp Biscuit phase.
Mm.
If you remember them.
Oh yeah, as
So
everybody loves Limp Bizkit.
yeah, well everybody but Eminem.
Fred Durst.
But I was like Rumple, and I was thinking Limp Biscuit, Rumple Limp Skins. Rumple Limp Skins. All right, I'll try it. Sure enough, it was available, and it's been my online persona since 2012.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Keeping it going. I like that.
Yeah, man, it's always funny though is when uh, which we'll get into this topic later, but when I join fellow streamers like Twitch streams or back when Mixer was a thing, their mix streams, uh, my name would show up as Rumple Limpskins, and I'd hit follow, and they would read my name on stream, and I never failed to get a laugh out of them. And so, I mean, that makes it memorable because I mean, if you remember, the name, that's half the battle. Because like, hey, man, You think of names, Doctor Disrespect,
Hmm.
you're never gonna forget that name. Shroud, never gonna forget that name. Stone Mountain, I mean, those names are synonymous with some of the biggest streamers, and that's part of their uh, initial appeal is their name.
Mm. You right.
Tim the Tap Man. And
Ninja.
then you get some of these Ninja. Yeah, Ninja. Cloaksies.
It's just crazy to get at Ninja. You know what I mean? Like, how long ago has he just been going by Ninja?
Um,
To get at Ninja on everything. Isn't that crazy? He's at Ninja on Twitch or Twitter. I guess he probably if you can buy
I'm about to
out
say
people's
he
things,
probably
but
bought out. He probably bought
Just at
bought somebody
Ninja.
out for all those things. But I mean, still, 'cause I mean that's what a lot of people do. Like when TikTok first started getting big, a bunch of people went and got famous people's
Names.
usernames
Yeah, so they
so
can.
they couldn't, and then they'd get some money off it when the whatever online persona tried to buy it.
Right. You right. That's a good. Hey, that's a bit. Hey, you just turned me on to a new business tactic, my guy.
And there you
Every
go.
everything that launches, I'm doing PewDiePie first.
Oh, that dude's got more money he knows what to do with.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. He doesn't even do most of that kind of stuff, but
Why does he need to? He just sticks on YouTube.
yeah, no joke. I shout out to PewDiePie. He needs all the help he can get for views, right?
Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt, he's struggling right now. I think he's at like what?
Mm.
Didn't he reach 1 billion views the other day? Like a while back, he was the first person to get 1 billion views.
Yeah, I think probably it's probably the you're probably thinking of the 100 million subscriber thing.
What was it, man? I don't know. He had something that he had.
Yeah, there was that 100 million subscriber race or whatever. Anyways, not to get too far off. So streaming, what do you do on stream?
So right now, my main games is I play Madden online Mutt. I have a dude that his name's Ryan Law. Shout out to Law if he views this. He runs defense. I run offense. We're somewhat competitive. Madden's, as we say, Madden's on their bullshit, which means Madden pretty much costs you a game, but some stupid player give you some stupid animation. And then Warzone. I stream a lot of Warzone. Right now, I'm top 6% in the world. Last time I checked.
Killing it.
Well, I don't know how accurate those stats are, but I mean, I've got a 20 bomb dub under my name, but no, I usually just stream, and then I've got a group of buddies that I play with that are pretty good comedic relief.
Mm-hmm. Because are you the try hard
Maybe
of the group?
oh, I'm most definitely the sweat.
Oh,
Most
okay.
definitely.
Gotcha.
I'm definitely the sweaty player. Which I mean, not saying those guys are bad. I mean, by any means, they can outkill me, outdamage me, outscore me at any given time.
Right.
But they're definitely more of a laid back. Well, except for Shoemake is a sore loser. He's a sore winner too. But shout out to Shoemake. But he's definitely one of the best persons to have on stream with you for the simple fact that he's got some pretty good comebacks, and he's pretty witty.
Gotcha.
So that makes the stream pretty interesting.
That's dope, man. When I was talking about my streams, I was really wanting to get into streaming a lot, but I just don't have time to stream like I want to. With making videos for YouTube, and then like work, and then also trying to work out and eat right, like making food and blah 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 blah. It's very difficult to find time to stream, because we're going to bed or getting up early. The weekends is the perfect time, like Saturday, Sunday, but on those days I'm also doing more stuff for like the podcast or bigger projects that I can't really focus on, that have a couple hours during the week. So it's difficult, but I do want to try to stream like once a week at least, like a couple hours, because I don't want to beat my game, and I don't want to just do it I don't want to do it without being live, because it's like, well, if I'm gonna play the game, why not just stream it?
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, we have full-time jobs. We know we have families, but it's like our hobbies are like another full-time job. I mean, it's pretty much, we'll get up, do stuff that we need to get stuff ready for a stream or a podcast. Like for me on my podcast, I have to do a lot of research. I'll research, go to work, come home, do some more research, stream for 3 or 4 hours, and then go to sleep, get up, do it all over again. And then on my days off, I pretty much am not relaxing. I'm either streaming or I'm getting stuff ready for another podcast, or I'm watching anime. It's like a guilty pleasure, which that's my getaway from streaming and doing the podcast and work.
Right. That's cool. We all need that. What drives you to what motivates you to do streams and do your podcast and stuff? Is it just a hobby, or do you have to motivate yourself like, man, I really don't want to do the podcast today, I should just take a day off? Or do you really have that deep down motivation where you're like, no, I got to do this, even though it's just a hobby, I got to do this? What motivates you for this kind of stuff?
That eventually one day I can quit my job and don't have to worry about going back to work.
So it is more of a striving to a goal, and
Oh
to
man,
make this your profession, not just a hobby.
if I could talk about sports and stream video games as a living, I mean that's a life, man. You can't ask for anything better. I mean, I love my job. I love what I do now, but being able to do something I truly enjoy and I'm truly passionate about. I mean, you know me. There's not a whole lot of people that can out talk sports with me, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty decent at gaming. So I mean, yeah, I would love to just make that a career, but the getting started now, because I mean, everybody has made a podcast almost just once. Everybody has, streamed at least once.
Mm-hmm.
So getting yourself followers and subscribers, I mean, that's a whole nother job that we even talked about. Like I told you last night, I have a TikTok, a Facebook, and an Instagram for my Marshall Matters podcast, my Rumple Limpskin stream, and then my personal. I mean, that's 9 different social media platforms. That's not even counting Twitter, which I'm not big on Twitter because I don't really know how to use it all that well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's 9 social media platforms that I'm having to constantly, update, keep people who have liked, followed, and subscribed to those social media outlets that I have to keep updated on a constant basis. And that's a whole nother job. I mean, there's people that make a living off doing that for famous people, and I could see why. Because trying to do it by yourself is just absolutely time consuming.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It sucks. I've and see that's why for me, my content and my channel is just like me as a personality, as like a brand, so that they can when people follow me, they can just follow me at my regular Twitter. They can follow me at my regular Instagram. Have my YouTube, and then maybe eventually, if I do, get more subscribers and followers, maybe I'll make a fan page for like Facebook or something. But right now, it's just trying to get the people in before I worry about making all this other stuff and keeping up with it. That's more my goal, because I do love to do this as a hobby and everything. And of course, my goal would also be to be able to sustain myself with podcasting and YouTube. Be great. Until I have to worry about getting another account or anything, I think I'm just fine with myself being, you know, everything coming back to my Twitter and all that stuff. So I'm trying to get verified under my name. You know what I mean?
See, I completely understand that, but I see it from the other aspect is, man,
Mm-hmm.
internet trolls are everywhere. And as soon as, so the reason why I made a separate Facebook to start with for my podcast, excuse me, sorry, was because I had an internet troll get on there, figure out my social media, and started, trolling my post.
Mm.
And, I've got my wife on my Facebook. I mean, my Facebook set to private, but I mean, you can still see who I'm married to, and you can go, look at all our pictures and stuff. So
Right.
once I seen that happen, I was like, no, you know what? I mean,
Separate your life.
you kind of got to, because I don't really need that. I mean, uh, I mean, my personal life is my personal life for me and me only. So
Right. I got you. That's the privacy. Privacy is a big thing. I've changed, like when it comes to like passwords and all that. I'm pretty airtight on like password stuff, so that I don't have any risks of getting hacked or anything. Um,
well,
I
another thing
hope,
is, uh, I mean, I work as a juvenile supervision officer for
Hmm.
Grayson County, and that's another thing is some of the kids that I've worked with. I mean, when they get out and what they call the free, they try to look up, JSOs that they had a good connection with. And that's another thing is I want to keep that stuff separate. So if they want to, follow my stream or my podcast, I mean, they can do that, but they don't have insight into my personal life because, all it takes is one kid that you necessarily didn't get along with very well to have ill intentions towards you.
Right. Yeah, I got you. I feel that 100%. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way, even a chance of it. Yeah, I got you, man. That's where we stand on that. I never really talked to see, and this is why I like to do this podcast. That's kind of my goal for this podcast is to talk with, because I've know people like I had Justin on last week, who is also a streamer from Ada, and then you stream from Texas, and you have your own thing going on, podcast as well. It is very crazy that there's so many people that do podcasts and that do streams, and we're all small. We have our small little followings, and our own channels, quotations again. And it's like to look into the minds of your peers of like, well, what are you doing this for? What motivates you? And that's more my goal is to reach out to other small YouTubers that I find on YouTube and just kind of talk to them about being a small YouTuber and like, how's your life with your job and why do you do YouTube? That's what I want to get into with my podcast. And I know yours is just mostly sports, right?
Yeah, it's Marshall's Matters where we talk about the topics that matter to Marshall. But most of the time, yeah, it's just sports. But man, that's when I first started out on my podcast, which shout out to Chatson Looper. He's a sergeant on third shift. He's actually the one that convinced me to even start a podcast. He's like, man, you're so knowledgeable about this stuff and you're passionate about it. Why don't you do a podcast? And so I got started on it, got the ball rolling. He's seen how much fun I was having with it. And now he started his own podcast.
Hey.
And, man, it's just, I have all the respect in the world for people who put time, energy into a podcast, into a stream, and still work a full-time job because, man, it's hard. It's hard. Mm-hmm. And to quote that song, it's hard out there for a pimp. I mean, and it's
a grind, like, the hustle.
Dude, it's a grind, man, and it is a grind. And it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, if you factor in my PC that I built that can stream and the equipment I bought, like this mic, I have 3 microphones that I've purchased recently. I got lots of equipment that's worth some money, so it's good to have. But then people will say, well, why you spend so much money on this? Well, it's like no matter what hobby you have, if you enjoy your hobby, you're going to spend money on it, right? If you like to build birdhouses, exactly. you have to buy wood and paint and all that stuff. That's
because it's crazy seeing how it's 2020, but there's still a social stigmatism about gaming and about streaming and podcasting that people don't really see it as like a job or a hobby anymore, but it is. I mean, you look at the big name podcasters, the big name streamers. I mean, my one of my favorite podcasts to follow is the Pat McAfee podcast. Mm-hmm. And where he talks, he's a professional. He was a former professional punter for the Indianapolis Colts. But I mean, in terms of personality wise, the dude's got one of the best on radio personalities in the world, in my opinion.
Yep, I watched the show.
But he makes more money doing his podcast than he did playing in the NFL.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Dr. Disrespect's a multimillionaire. Mm-hmm. Shroud's a multimillionaire. How much money did Ninja make to leave Twitch to go to Mixer?
Right, and then he kept the money when Mixer went under.
Oh, that was part of his contract.
And now he's back on Twitch.
Yeah, it signed so much money. Crazy. Well, I think that's the reason Dr. Disrespect got banned from Twitch, I think, is because they paid him so much money to keep him at Twitch, mm-hmm. and then banned him so they didn't have to worry about paying him the rest of his contract out because they knew Shroud and Ninja was coming back.
Yeah, I forgot that he got banned, and it was like a perma ban, and it was like out of nowhere or something. He just streams on YouTube now, right?
Yeah, yeah, and he's already blown up. He's already
Yeah,
blown up. He's
it's
got
crazy.
a stupid amount of people on YouTube already.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine why they would do that, but it has to be something with the money. Yeah, you're right. Everything's about money at the end of the day. At the end of the day,
Oh man, if I'd
it's
win the
all
lottery, that's all I would do. Would
money.
focus purely on my podcast and my streams.
Yeah, no joke. Me dos amigos. Um, let's see. So, how about you could see what am I wearing right now? Can you see,
It looks
Marshall?
like you're wearing a straw hat shirt.
I'm wearing. Here we go. Let's lift this up real quick. Da 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 da.
Oh, One Piece.
Got my wool One Piece shirt on because I wore it today because I did a reaction to a movie, which will be on this week's reaction video. So stay tuned for that, guys out there. And now we can talk about some anime stuff because I know you said it's your guilty pleasure, and this is something that I want you to I just want it to ooze out of you. Just talk, just go,
Oh,
just let it flow. Just talk about all the stuff. Like I want to see your bright eyes as you talk about all the anime you love so much.
oh man, I'm a closet otaku, which
Otaku.
people don't even realize that. I mean, because you were back in high school. I mean, we had
Is otaku worse than weeaboo? What is?
so otaku is just someone who,
Oh yeah, that's the stay inside and only do that,
yeah,
right?
well, yeah, it's pretty much it's someone who loves Japanese uh anime, manga, someone who's like that's like a big part of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a weebo is someone who wants to be Japanese, someone who wants to
Ah,
like only cares about the
it's
Japanese culture.
culture. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. I
I am
see.
not a weebo, man.
Ah.
I have to wear shoes. I wear shoes inside the house. I I mean that's not my style.
Okay, I feel you.
But back in high school, if you remember at the good old Colgate, Oklahoma, America,
Mm-hmm.
we had cliques. We had the jocks, we had the stoners, we had, the mean girl group, not really necessarily mean girls, but they had their own little thing going.
Right.
You had the anime kids, and then you
That's three
had
clicks.
pretty much everybody else that kind of mixed.
Right.
At one point in time, I was a part of three of those cliques, and I'm a male, so I was not a part of the mean girls cliques.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing that was crazy for me as a quote unquote jock was that I also enjoyed the anime stuff, but I had to keep it under wraps because I was part of the cool crowd. I didn't want to hurt my rep, so to speak. And as I've got older, I realized that doesn't matter. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Anime has definitely become more mainstream now. It's more widely accepted, but it is still can people say, man, why are you watching them cartoons? You're a grown man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it still doesn't get the respect it deserves in terms of its storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Has someone said that to
pros that
you
it has.
in real life?
Oh, all the time, man. Like
It's
why you
people.
watch those?
Oh, it's people. It's gotta be people at your work who are like,
No, man. All just regular people, man. I talk about it like you like them Japanese cartoons. You're a grown man. What is wrong with you?
oh, see, you are in a weird part of Texas, I guess.
It's definitely has not hit mainstream down here. I can
Right.
promise you that.
Right.
But it's definitely become more socially acceptable to come out and talk about the fact that you are, a anime nerd.
Mm-hmm.
But so let me tell you how I got started on anime.
All right.
So do you remember Toonami?
Yes, of course. I love Toonami.
So right before Adult Swim came on, Toonami, so when I grew up, man, I grew up dirt poor, man. I grew up washing off paper plates. It wasn't for my aunt. I wouldn't have had any school clothes, nothing like that. Mom and dad, rest in peace, love them both, but they were both, dad was an alcoholic, mom was a drug addict. I could go on all day, just some story of my childhood that people don't even realize that aren't close to me.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously know a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have all I had was channel 10 and 12. So when I would go stay at my mom's house, my cousin was big. He was definitely he fit into that anime clique. He was the goth anime clique that in school,
Hmm.
and he would watch Naruto and Bleach, and I didn't really understand it. And then I started watching. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool. It's got some action. And then that was like 10 or 12. And then about when I turned about 15 or 16, I got a phone, and Dad was finally financially able to get Wi-Fi at the house. So I remembered those shows from way back when. And I was like, I'm gonna look into that. And I started watching Naruto on the pirated sites. And then, I got to where I would just watch anime on, it was watchcartoononline.com, which has been taken down now, but that was like
Boo.
my number one go pirate site.
Yeah.
But then once I moved to Texas after graduation, and I came down here, and I moved in with my aunt, and she built me like a little house in her backyard, and I had money, so I actually bought, a subscription to Crunchyroll and Funimation. And so I really started to delve into like thousands upon thousands of anime titles because when I broke my ankle and my leg, and I had to have surgery, I couldn't walk for almost 7 months. Like I couldn't do nothing, just sit around the house. So all I
Mm.
had to do was watch TV. And
Hmm.
at the time there wasn't a whole lot of good shows on Netflix that I hadn't already watched. So I started watching anime. So I finished Naruto, finished Hunter x Hunter, got into Fairy Tail, got into all these animes, and then it just stuck with me. And now, there's like I have certain days where certain shows I watch come out on Crunchyroll or Funimation that I have to watch. But and that's what really got me started, was just seeing that on Toonami and then remembering it, and then slowly it grew into, I'm not gonna say an obsession because by no means am I obsessed, but if I had to choose to watch football over anime, I'm gonna watch football. But if I had to choose anything outside of that, I mean, I'm gonna put on my anime show before I watch anything else.
Like over any movie or just regular show.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my TV shows as well, but
Right.
if I had to But I mean, if my wife's here, of course, she's not into anime, so
Hmm.
I can't watch anime with her. But if it's just like right now, I mean, she's in Oklahoma City, I'm just chilling at the house with my puppy dog.
Here.
Uh,
Oh, puppy
be,
dog.
yeah, she's down here chewing on a bone. But well, I'd just rather watch anime.
I got you.
But
I've
but we
been.
get in.
I've been to that house. Remember I came to that house that you got built back there at your aunt's house.
Did you?
Do you remember that?
Oh, that was right after we must have had a class or something.
Well, we it was only one time we watched one of the OU games there.
That's what it was. Yeah, I had the OU game on.
Yep. And it was cuz there was like a cuz it was a super nice like backyard, wasn't it? Isn't there like a pool back
Yeah.
there and stuff?
Oh yeah, man. She's got money invested into it. Oh, lots.
It was cool. I was like, "Man, this is a cool setup."
Oh my aunt's a good lady, man. She's a great lady.
That's cool.
Uh, wasn't Tanner Robin with us?
Um Maybe.
There was somebody else with us. It was either Tanner. I don't think it was Drew, because I don't think Drew would ever voluntarily come watch a football game.
No, it had to have been someone else from
It was
uh
somebody else from college that we knew.
yeah, I don't remember that. I just remember you and me in the
No,
football game, but
it
probably
was
so.
me. It was me, you, and somebody else
It was
because we
probably
watched
was
the.
Tanner. He was because he was my roommate back then, so it only makes sense that he would be there.
Yeah, because I remember I came to y'all's house a couple of times when y'all lived in Durant at that little apartment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's cool though. Like I'm the same as you. Started watching Toonami, Dragon Ball Z. I would stay up and watch it at night. Like when it used to come on at night. It was like an Adult Swim type thing, and then they switched it to showing in the evenings, like after school. And that's when I started watching the Naruto and all those shows that would come on there. Um, Never got into Bleach super hard. I watched first season or something, uh, but then it was like a weird time because after Toonami kind of ended, there was a couple years where I didn't really watch anime, and it was just kind of me living my life. And then come around to like a couple years later, like probably when I graduated high school. I don't remember watching much anime in high school at all, just because I had so much stuff going on. Then I got to college after high school and started college. I started to see some more stuff about Naruto and how it's still going on. And I was like, oh, that show uh, from years ago that I watched a couple episodes, that's still going on. And then I started watching it and I was like, oh, wow, this show's still like it's continuing. I didn't realize this. And that sent me down the Crunchyroll, down the Funimation. And once I finished
Rabbit hole,
Naruto,
man.
I was hooked and I had to go back and see all these other shows. Like, oh, I remember this. I remember that being on there. I remember this and that and this and that. And I just kept going and going. I was like, this stuff is great. Why did I, it's so crazy. I believe firmly to this day, if everyone in the world was forced to watch Naruto and Naruto Shippuden all the way through, everyone would be better. There would be no more wars.
I remember you watching. I remember you put a Facebook post about that.
Yeah, we just want peace because it's the ultimate story of Naruto who gets his spoilers for Naruto, who gets his master killed, doesn't seek revenge. He always turns the other cheek. All he wants to do is to save his friends and family from the evil guys, and he'll do whatever it takes. He's the ultimate hero.
Get behind that. I mean, it would also perseverance alone. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
believe
ultimate
it.
underdog. Yeah, believe it. That's the
Believe
ultimate
it.
underdog. Uh, ultimate underdog story right there was Naruto.
I'm gonna be Hokage someday. Believe it.
Man,
Gets memed so hard.
they freaking 4chan killed the dubs of Naruto and One Piece.
4chan for you. I love the dub for Naruto. If you
4Kids. No, was it 4chan or was
oh
it 4
yeah,
Kids?
you're talking about the 4 Kids dub.
4Kids. Yeah, man, they're freaking trying to make it for, kids. And it wasn't.
Because it's 4 kids. Haha, get it? We're so clever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That those are the people that gave you the great One Piece rap. Do you ever hear the One Piece rap?
No. Never heard
If
the
you
One
want to
Piece
go
rap.
down, if you want to go down a rabbit hole of how 4 Kids is horrible, just look up changes made to One Piece by 4 Kids. They change like the smoking, like there's a lot of smoking in One Piece. There's
How in the world did they
guns.
do the smoker then?
Yeah, they took away both of his cigars, and he's not named Smoker. He's named Chaser, and all he does is like steam. Like he doesn't have his cigars, but he just like steams like smoke.
So he has the steam fruit instead of.
Yeah, the steam fruit, I guess. No, but if you watch, because I remember Naruto being more of an action show, but if you watch Naruto, the dub especially, it's a straight up comedy, man. It's funny. It's very funny.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like
But
to me, it's funny, but of course, I remember it being like it could be annoying to some people, but me as a kid watching it and now rewatching it, it's fun. It's so funny. All the pervert jokes and Naruto is just great.
oh, Jiraiya is one of the greatest pure comedic relief characters who is also extremely OP ever
Mm-hmm.
ever scripted in a manga.
Yep, he's great. Great character. Look at the puppy.
Yeah, she's kind of being a butthole right now.
What kind of dog is that?
It is a wiener pit, bro. So it's a pit
Whoa.
bull and a weenie dog.
That's cool.
Her name is Luca.
Luca.
Yeah, I've named her after the best white basketball player in the NBA right now, Luka Doncic.
Mm-hmm. Luca be balling. I should be a bigger Mavericks fan than I am. I grew up before Oklahoma City had a team. The Mavericks were my team, and Dirk was my hero.
Oh, Dirk's still my favorite player of all time.
Yeah, and back when the Steve Nash played there too, man, that was I freaking love that. Steve Nash is like my favorite player of all time. But since Oklahoma City's got a team now, that's my team. I'm a straight up all for the Thunder. But
See, I love the Thunder, but I mean, I stayed true to the Mavericks.
yeah, if they ever I'll bet like Thunder first, and then I back the Mavs anytime that if they go farther. I'm backing the Mavs. So you can say that I can have two teams. Can I have two teams? Is that legal?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm gonna
listen up.
have 10 teams. How about that?
Well, you're also a big Duke fan, I remember.
Oh yeah, still Duke fan. They've been kind of like Coach K is the greatest coach of all time, of course, and greatest coach like for anything ever, like all time best just coach in my opinion. But the teams they get all the good players and the good recruits, but they just can't put it together anymore. It's kind of sad.
It's hard to win when everybody's one and done.
Yeah, it is. You can't really. It's hard to coach up a team to consistently do the same things, I guess. But they did it in 2015. They did it in 2010. 2010, that team was more of a cohesive unit. They didn't really have anybody that went to the league besides, I think, Nolan Smith. But, Kyle Singler did too. But 2015 was the year they had, like, Okafor, Justice Winslow, Grayson Allen. Yeah, Grayson Allen. That was like his freshman year. They had that team. What's the other guy? Dang it, can't remember him. The point guard. Tyson.
Jabari Parker too.
Know. Yeah, Jabari Parker. A lot of good teams, but those are the championship teams. And I thought they had it. Dang it, why can I remember the old people's names, but not the what's the New Orleans guy that just Zion. How can I forget Zion's team? I thought they were going to be able to do it. Nope.
They were stacked with Zion, JT Barrett, and all them.
I thought they had it, dude. I could have swore this team was going, but
so back on the anime topic.
Okay, yeah. Switching gears back.
Top 5 anime in no particular order. Go.
For me?
Yeah, for you.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me think. I have a couple that I've always thought. Probably Yu Yu Hakusho, One Piece,
that's a good one.
Hunter x Hunter.
The original or the 2011 version?
2011 version. That's the only one I've seen, so I can't really judge the other one. Oh, Naruto. That's 4.
Are you counting Naruto with Naruto Shippuden?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a continuation. I'll say it's the same thing.
I do the same thing, but some people don't like that. So.
Well, fuck those people. There, I said it. I'm looking at my wall over here. I have other stuff. I have an All Might figure. Do I want to say My Hero Academia? It's great, but is it?
So you said One Piece.
Yeah.
Naruto.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Hunter x Hunter. So you got one more.
Yeah. So I want to say My Hero. I don't think I do. There's probably one that I'm forgetting. Dragon Ball Z, I really love it. But as far as top 5 anime goes, people that say that it's one of the top 5 best are lying. It's not that great as far as like story. Some story's good, but it doesn't have like the deep themes that anime can have. It's really is the best like fighting battle manga and anime probably as far as like fights and stuff goes and just epic action. But to me, it doesn't.
There's that
hit
nostalgia factor too, though.
And people look at
everybody.
it. Yeah, people look at it with their. Oh, I saw this as a kid. It was amazing. To me, I think there is like My Hero just touches on better themes. It has a better protagonist than Goku. Who's more layered. But the people could say that they could criticize One Piece for that too, Luffy. But I think there's more to Luffy than people think. But anyways, I'll think about it. You tell me yours. Maybe you'll spring my memory, and I'll have my final.
Numero uno for me, which I know we're not doing orders, but Fairy Tail is my number 1. Natsu, Lucy. You got to throw Naruto in there. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's 3. Hunter x Hunter would be there. Oh, man, it's like I could throw One Piece in there now that I'm starting to get into it. I could throw Clanad, which I think is the greatest slice of life romance anime ever written. You could throw Bleach in there if you take out the last season, which they're going to redo the new season. So Bleach may make a comeback for me because it's supposed to have a new season next year. You got Sword Art. Uh,
Yeah, don't like it.
what?
Well,
Oh, that's a conversation for another
I
time
like
or
sword. I
for
like
later
sword art
on.
as like a guilty pleasure kind of thing, but I don't think it's like just bad.
Are you caught up on it?
No, I'm talking about the first two seasons. I haven't seen the rest, but
No, you gotta continue on. It gets pretty good. Attack on Titan.
mm-hmm.
You take out the second season's amazing. Uh, Tokyo Ghoul. I mean, I might have to throw Tokyo Ghoul in there with One Piece. I really enjoyed Tokyo Ghoul.
I haven't seen it yet. I really
That's
need
a,
to get
that's
to
a,
it 'cause people really
that's
love it.
another one. Uh, man, there's just so many. My Hero's good. Black Clover's good. Uh, Domestic Girlfriend, which is a one of those that you don't watch with other people around,
You talk about One
is really
Punch Man.
good. I'm not a One Punch Man fan, dude. I'm not.
What about JoJo's?
Uh, I couldn't get into JoJo either, man.
Mm.
And everybody was telling me it's so good. I watched the first season, which I watched it dubbed, so that might have been the issue. But I just couldn't get into JoJo's. It would have to be One Piece, tied with Clan Ed, tied with.
I'm looking at anime series right now, so I can. Oh, Death Note. What about Death Note?
Nah, Death Note's in my top 20, but probably not my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Probably easier just to do a top 10. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. That's a great one. Second season should be coming out next year. Oh, man. I don't know, man. There's just so many good ones right now.
Yep, you got it, man. There is. Have you seen Code Geass?
Code Geass is definitely in there. Don't like the way it ended, even though technically it's alluded that Lelouch is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hoping they'd come out with another series with that, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Okay, you know what was one that you told me about to watch that I did watch, and I was like, this is so great, was Dead Man Wonderland.
Oh, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, and the anime has only that one season, and they leave it on the worst note ever, and it just didn't do very well, I guess, and they never made another season. Pissed me off so much because I was super into that show.
Oh, it's a great one. I definitely have to throw in Food Wars.
Mm,
Food
I've heard
Wars
of
is
it.
good.
Yeah.
It's good. The next generation. Oh, Demon Slayer no Kibetsu. Like, holy crap. That's another great one right there. Demon Slayer is amazing.
Yeah.
God of High School, which is on Crunchyroll right now. If you haven't watched it, you need to give it a try. Fire Force. Everybody loved Fire Force. I wasn't a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
But God of High School.
See, I love Demon Slayer. I think it could be up there in top 5, but it needs more seasons. Like I need to see more of it.
The second season, if it's anywhere near the first season, definitely gets in the top 5.
Yeah.
ReZero, Starting Life in Another World. That's another good one.
Yeah, Jaden's told me to watch that. He likes that one. Seven Deadly Sins.
Take out this last current season, and yes,
I've seen the first season and I really liked it.
They switched anime studios.
Oh, and that's always a bad sign.
Rising of the Shield Heroes that one's great.
Did you like Blue Exorcist?
Blue Exorcist is good. Have you seen the Rising of the Shield Hero though?
Mm-mm.
Watch it. That's my next one I'm recommending to you right now. Go watch it. If you only want to watch dubbed, it's all the way dubbed. If you like subbed, it's got a good sub too. Another buddy of mine really likes Dr. Stone. I wasn't a big fan of Dr. Stone.
These are new shows, huh?
Yeah, that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I saw a clip from that and I thought this seems delightful, but I never really watched it. Like I don't have time to watch as much stuff. It sucks with all this streaming and the podcasting, and there's only certain times me and Megan's been watching shows together more than because she doesn't really want to watch these kind of shows with me, so it's hard to find the time.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's when I stay up late, it's like once Lacey goes to bed, it's my
Your
11
time.
p.m. to
Yeah.
8 a.m.
Yeah, I got
If
you.
I'm not streaming or playing.
Here's one I'm putting right outside the top 5. Akame ga Kill. You ever see that?
If it had a second season and they wouldn't have killed off the MC, it would have been top five without a doubt.
No, I think that's why. For me, that's what does it so good. And you think the bland white guy was the main character? It's obviously Akame, right?
You would think that, but it doesn't start with
With her, I know.
with her.
But she's the main character. Even though she doesn't get much. She gets some
Well,
character
that
development, but she's not the main focus. And it's only I only say that it's to me it is more of like a to me it's just a better version of Sword Art Online.
well, you get a that's like Fairy Tale. Technically, Fairy Tale Lucy's the MC, but if you ask anybody, it's all about Natsu.
Right. So
Uh,
I think I'm gonna say My Hero is the fifth right now. I just love it so
oh,
much. You see
I love it
Inuyasha?
too, but I was not an Inuyasha fan. I was not a Rurouni Kenshin fan either.
Mm,
Gintama's another good one.
mm-hmm.
That's an older one. Yu Yu Hakusho would have to be up there for me too. Bleach has a chance with this next season to really do something if they ended on a good note like they should have. Uh, but to me, man, to make my top anime list, I've got to have like uh, a romantic subplot, kind of, because I mean that's I mean with Naruto, you had Naruto and Hinata.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter, you really didn't have one.
Let me
One
pull this
Piece,
back
you
up.
know, I ship Luffy and Boa Hancock hard.
Yeah.
Natsu and Lucy. Um, I mean, there's just I don't know. I like that romantic subplot in my anime.
I
It
got
gives
you.
me like it makes it more I don't know just
Mm-hmm.
enjoyable to me
Yeah.
because you have something else to root for besides them defeating the main villain.
Right. Yeah. See, Marshall's just a big softie, you guys. He's a big old teddy
Oh,
bear.
oh, without a doubt, man.
He likes the
Love
romance.
I love my romance anime. I would recommend Clan Ed to anybody. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite animes of all time.
Clan. I have to search that because
It's on Netflix right now. You can watch it.
Clan Ed. All right. Maybe I'll try to get Megan to watch that with me. So 'cause she's really about. Is it like a romantic comedy or is it more just straight up romance?
It's a slice of life slash romantic
So
comedy.
they probably okay. So they do have some comedy in there.
They have comedic relief, but it's more romance than anything.
Cool. So we'll check that out.
The only anime besides like Naruto when Jiraiya died to make me cry.
Really? Yeah.
Clan Ed After Story, man, that's the one. I'm not gonna get into too much, but it
Right. Hits you
made
deep.
me cry.
Hits you in
Oh,
the
without a
feels.
doubt.
See, the only one I've cried, I think, is, um, I think I've cried at Naruto's made me cry. One Piece has made me cry. Um, I can't think of any other. I think maybe not Yu Yu Hakusho. I think maybe My Hero has made me cry. Yes, it has, for sure.
When?
Um, whenever the first time I saw it, the first time I saw it, the young Midoriya giving him the power the first time, like the second episode when he gives him the speech and everything, got me almost teary eyed. I was very like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then the moment that made me really cry was whenever he's fighting the big muscly
Oh, All
guy.
for One.
No, the big like when Midoriya fights the big muscly guy that can just create muscles on muscles on muscles.
Oh, and he rips his to save the little boy's
Yeah,
life, and he say,
yeah, the Detroit like smash 1,000,000%. I was like, it's so epic. I was like
"Oh yeah."
crying from epicness. I was like, oh, this is so great. So yeah, that's three because not really sad moments, but like just super epic stuff. And that's One Piece has made me cry multiple times from epic moments and sad moments, which I won't spoil anything for anybody. So
I'm on episode 470 now.
yeah, boy,
I'm on the Marine Ford arc.
Modine
So Ace
Ford.
is about to die. So I mean,
And that's a very sad moment.
spoiler,
Yeah,
spoiler. Sorry about that.
everyone knows
But
that already. It's all good.
yeah,
I didn't cry there because I knew like a long ass time ago before I watched it that it was happening. If I would have saw it like straight up, I probably would have. But just because of how Luffy is, so sad.
see.
But
I think that's one thing that really was hard for me to get into One Piece for the longest time. For one, the first arc, the East Blue arc, is one of the worst arcs in anime history. I don't care.
Romance
I don't
Dawn,
care.
everybody.
I don't care what anybody says. I think the East Blue arc is one of the worst arcs in anime history. It ruined One Piece for me for the longest time. I couldn't get into it. And then Water 7, the Water 7 arc saved this show for me. And I have been invested in it heavily ever since. But
How far you going with the East Blue? Because once you get to Sanji and the Baratier, and you get the scene with him starving to death almost, and then the guy saving him by not eating any of the food, and
no,
then,
man, past then I didn't like it, dude. I just couldn't get into it.
and even when Nami and Arlong Park, where
I mean, I watched it all, but I wasn't.
you weren't like, dude, this is so sick.
No, it felt like a job. It felt tedious to me.
Oh,
I wasn't emotionally invested yet. Like I didn't have that scene where it made me, and have that moment where I was completely invested in the anime yet.
it's one of the
And,
best parts though
and I
of the whole
think
show, in my opinion.
what also hurts One Piece for me is the sheer number of episodes. Because I mean, that's a daunting task. Like if you really want to get into One Piece, I mean, you got to realize they're almost at 1,000 episodes now,
Hmm.
and there's not really a whole lot of filler
Nope.
in One Piece. I mean, but I mean, you look at Naruto, and I mean, shit, you can take out a third of that freaking series
Yeah,
completely
no
out.
joke.
But One
It's
Piece is really not a whole lot of filler. And so, I mean, that's kind of a daunting task for anybody getting it. But there was so much information available about One Piece that I like it. That's probably another reason why I didn't enjoy the East Blue arc, because I already knew everything that was going to happen, because I read up on it to make sure like I really wanted to get into this anime, because I mean that's a task. I mean, you really have to devote some time into it.
right.
And I think it's probably what ruined it is I already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But now I've kind of like kept away from Google a little bit. Besides the fact that I looked to see if Luffy ended up with Boa Hancock, which not gonna spoil it for anybody, but supposedly is Luffy's gonna end up with Boa or Nami at the end of the series, according to the author.
Right. Ichiro Oda, the god of manga
Or,
himself.
oh, you could throw Naruto's author in there too.
What's his name?
I have no idea. Miroshima. Miroshima.
I don't know.
I think it's Miroshima. Or that might be Fairy Tail. No, Fairy Tail's Miroshima.
Gotcha.
Because I started reading the manga of the 100-Year War or the 100-Year Quest after Fairy Tail's anime ended.
Gotcha. That's anime talk, you guys. I'm trying to get Jaden to do a One Piece podcast with me, because he's on like episode 90 or something. So I call it copyright. I copyrighted this, calling it Joining the Crew, a One Piece podcast. So I'm gonna try to get Jaden to watch like 5 episodes a month, and we just do like a monthly recap and talk about it and stuff, just for a fun thing, because I want to have someone to talk to One Piece about. And I know Jaden, once he watches it, because we're like the same person almost. We're just, we're different people, but we're almost the same. We have the same childhood. We've had the same experiences for the most part. I know he'll love it once he starts to watch it. Any show he recommends me, I love it. Any show I recommend him, he loves it. So I know that he will. He just has to. It's like the same thing you're saying. It's a task. He doesn't want to put in the time. Well, I'm like, Jaden, just do 5 episodes a month, and then I'll watch them, and then we'll talk about it. It's not that bad. And guess what? It'll take us like 3 years to get caught up if we do 5 episodes a month.
It'd take longer than 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It would take.
I mean, that's only 60 episodes a year.
Shoot, you're right. So yeah, it would take like 10, 15 years.
Tell them to watch 1 episode, 2 episodes a week. That 8 episodes. I mean, that's nothing. Especially once he gets into it, it won't be anything for him to really just like start binging. That's my biggest pet peeve with animes that release weekly is that I'm caught up on is I just want to binge, which has been really great for One Piece because I mean I'll binge 10 to 15 episodes a weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it. Like Parasite, I just watched Parasite on because it was put on Netflix. I watched it in like a week, and it's like 24 episodes. Just like
Parasite the Maximum.
Yep.
I tried to get into it, but it was a little too freaky for me.
Shoot, it's good. I really dig
All right,
it.
so who's your anime waifu? I mean, that's what everybody wants to know anyway.
Everyone wants to know. Anime waifu. I don't know, man. Um, Probably. I guess it's a tough one. I never thought about it too much. Do you have one off the top of your head?
Lucy Hartfilia, without a doubt.
Yeah, you're going off the fairy tale.
It'd be Lucy Hartfilia.
Mm.
Then it would have to be Ino from Naruto, or
Oh yeah,
Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tale. I'm a big Boa Hancock fan right now in One Piece.
yeah, Boa
Uh,
and Koku.
what's really funny about that is Luffy's 17 right now currently because I'm at the pre-time skip,
Right.
and Boa's 31. So I mean, that's a pretty big age gap. But oh man, there's a
I think I'm probably saying just Nami. I love me
no.
some Nami.
Nami just she gets on my nerves sometimes. I think if she would be like a stronger fighter,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be so bad. But I mean, she's really not much of a fighter, man, at all.
Yep, I know it.
I mean,
She's the navigator.
Boa can navigate and go hand to hand fight with anybody. I mean, she can go up with she can go toe to toe with the vice admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not an admiral, but a vice admiral.
That's why she's a Shichibukai, seventh warlord of the sea.
Well, not anymore. I already read up a little bit
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
yeah, That's later
But
on. Stop reading, Marshall. You gotta watch.
I had to figure out how Luffy got his scar, okay?
Okay.
And that's what ruined it for me.
Yeah. I know it.
I'm
Jaden
really
keeps asking me about that too. He's like, Did you find out how he gets the scar? I'm like, yeah, you just gotta watch, dude.
tell him it's like episode 502. I think is the exact episode.
Yeah. So you're not even there yet, huh?
No, I'm not.
But he's had the scar for, literally half the series almost.
I will
now.
tell you right now, though, Marineford arc is one of the greatest freaking arcs in anime history. The battle is just so freaking crazy.
It's dope. It's epic on a grand scale. Epic.
And I
That's
will
why.
tell you what I really enjoy about One Piece is, and another which My Hero kind of steals this a little bit too. Same way with Black Clover is the MC is not OP as fuck. Like Naruto at the end of the season, end of the series, kills anybody, especially him and Sasuke together.
Yeah.
They're trying to add more stuff now with Boruto, but they're having to go like extraterrestrial.
Right.
Like there's nobody on that current planet that
can
even
Sasuke
hold us.
or
Naruto. Yeah. And then you get into Ichigo towards the end of Bleach.
Right.
Pretty much one shot anybody. Natsu at the end of Fairy Tail kills spoiler, kills Zeref.
Yeah.
I mean, he's OP.
Right.
Luffy gets his ass beat on a regular basis.
Well, at least what you said though is at least it's at the end of the series, right? So I'm sure at the end of the series in One Piece, Luffy will be the Pirate King, and he'll be.
Oh yeah, but I mean, how many episodes of Naruto could he kill? Pretty much most of the people he came up against.
Right, like he surpassed.
That shit was early on that he surpassed everybody. I mean, the dude was technically still a Chunin, but he was like Anbu Black Ops level.
Right.
Before Shippuden even started.
He like surpassed his I can't I have so much stuff in my brain. I'm trying to think. What's their master's name or their sensei? Kakashi. He surpassed Kakashi in like episode 300 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like
they couldn't do nothing against Pain. He couldn't do shit against Pain. And then Naruto had to show up and save their ass.
Now, once he learned Sage Jutsu, I mean, he was already one of the most powerful characters in his own freaking show. I mean, and then honestly, Midoriya, Deku could pretty much one-shot anybody in his anime verse. I mean, he would leave him crippled for life because he doesn't know how to use his powers yet.
Right.
But once he learns to control his powers, I mean, he's OP as shit too.
Right.
And then Gon off Hunter x Hunter, if he releases all the energy when he killed the cat lady. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, don't know. But I know you're talking about.
You remember when he releases like all and he gets like his adult form?
Right.
He's the most powerful being in that freaking universe.
Yep.
So I mean that's what I enjoy about One Piece so much is that which Asta from Black Clover is slowly getting there with his demonic possession form, where he's getting a little OP. But I mean, Yami could still kick his ass. Any of the captains could still kick Asta's ass. But Luffy routinely gets beat and then has to come back. Like, I didn't enjoy the Alabaster arc, but he got his ass beat by Crocodile like 3 times in a row, and then finally on the 4th time beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I enjoy that because it's like, hey, I'm still having to work to get better. Yes, Naruto had to work to become a Hokage, but honestly, if the 4th Great Ninja War wouldn't have happened, Naruto would have been the strongest there was, and there wouldn't have been anything else to go off of because you just had to wait his turn to become Hokage.
Right. Because you had to resurrect all of the great ninjas that could do
Yeah,
some
you
shit.
had to bring back Madara to life to give them any kind of opponent that they couldn't handle.
Right. That's funny, isn't it?
And well, I mean, it's like
the power scaling. They didn't do it. They didn't do it well enough. They gave them too much power early. You know.
And that's one thing that Oda does so well in One Piece is the fact that the power scales haven't really been like, I haven't even got to hockey yet, and I know hockey like plays a big thing once you're in the New World.
Mm-hmm.
But Luffy's at battling. He's at the Battle of Marineford. He's probably not even in the top 100 strongest members there.
Yep.
And he's your MC.
Right.
So, I mean, come on. I mean, that's awesome because it's like, hey, like, I'm so ready for Luffy to get powerful, but I like the fact that he's not, stupid, overly powerful. Then there's when he fights the great emperors,
Mm-hmm.
when he fights Big Mom's lieutenant, which I read about that.
Right.
Like, everybody was saying that was pure plot armor that he won.
Right.
So, I mean, he's got all this power. He trained with Rayleigh for 2 years. Like I said, I read a lot. But he trained with Rayleigh for 2 years, and he's still, like, he's OP in the old world, but he goes to the new world, and he's back to where he was. But he's got all these new abilities.
Yep.
And to me, that's cool as shit.
Yep. It is. I wish that I had more time to talk with you about all of this stuff. Maybe next.
I mean, we've been going for what, 2 hours now?
Yeah, an hour and a half almost. Don't have all the time. I wish we had all day, but I do have other stuff so I have to cut us a little short. So sorry, but
I'm available all Saturdays.
All right, man.
Not this coming Saturday. I got a family reunion, but all Saturdays. You don't mind? I'll give myself a little shout out. You can follow me. You can follow me on Facebook at Marshall's Matters. MarshallsMatters. You can follow me on TikTok at Rumple Limpskins. You can also follow me on Instagram at Marshall's Matters and Rumple Limpskins for the podcast and the stream. I stream most nights on Twitch from about 11 p.m. Central to 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning Central Time. I stream most days, Fridays and Saturdays during the day. Podcasts, they're going to start coming out weekly, so be looking for the new podcast on Saturdays. If you go like the Marshall's Matters Facebook page, I will post the link to the Spotify and Anchor platforms there. And man, I appreciate you having me on, man. This is fun. I don't get to BS with people like this very often that are sports fans as well as otakus as myself.
Yep, you're right, man. And thanks for coming on, because it's to donate some time to give to another creator. It means a lot, and it's fun to talk with someone, like you said, about anime and everything else. So couldn't be happier. I think we had a kick-ass episode, and I thank you so much, Marshall. Everyone, Marshall Matters, follow him. He's a great guy and all good fun. So thanks, Marshall. I guess I'll talk to you later for sure.
All right, man. Just hit me up whenever you want to do another collab. I'll try to get you on my Anchor podcast. Probably not next week's episode, but the week after next. You free?
Yeah, I'm free.
All right, download the Anchor app, and we'll try to get something going.
Okay, bro. Sounds good.
All right, man. Later, dude.
All right. See you later.